Hello, partners. It's your old pal and host of the Akamai Partner Champions podcast, Nick Watkins. Now, we have a very special episode in store for you today, because when you have guests on the caliber of Taylor Swift or Shah Rukh Khan, well, you can't just do a standard interview. So today, I will be moderating a panel with our esteemed guest from Digital Convergence Technologies, or DCT for short. Now, you may be asking yourself, why the format change? Well, don't worry, baby birds, I'll feed you. Now, DCT recently achieved a massive win with Akamai Cloud. But before I go into spoiling the big reveal, let me introduce our guests. Now, about our first guest. As a visionary CEO and serial entrepreneur with over 2 decades of experience, this man spearheads innovation in AI, sustainability, and digital technologies through his leadership at DCT. Please welcome Vineet Dewan.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for having us over here.
I love
Appreciate it.
Of course. And joining him is the Chief Operating Officer, Anis Natani, who brings over 20 years of experience in technology, healthcare, and media, and has guided many companies from concept to scale. Anis, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here, Nick.
And with over 14 years of designing and implementing large-scale software platforms, it is my pleasure to introduce DCT's Chief Technology Officer, Kaushik Badiani. Kaushik, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for hosting us.
Of course. And rounding out our esteemed panel, he is the Senior Director of Channel Sales and Programs with over 20 years of Akamai experience, which is about 143 years in any other company. Some call him the excellence of execution in all things channel. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Bill Kamenides.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate the intro.
Now, before we dive into the migration win, we need to set the stage. Now, Vineet, can you share a little bit about DCT and what sets you apart from the competition?
Sure. Thank you, Nick. So DCT has been around for the last 18 years, and we started off essentially as a software services company, and we built our depth in 4 verticals. So starting with media and entertainment, we roll up all our publication business into that, and then transportation, logistics, healthcare, pharma, and fintech. So these are the areas that we specialize from a vertical perspective. And then we obviously add the horizontal layer to support this, which is we've built the systems integration practice, we've built the cloud engineering practice, the product engineering practice, the data engineering practice, and now we're building an AI practice as well. So that's the whole matrix of our business. But in specific, and obviously while you're at Akamai, you need to talk about media and entertainment
Of course.
a lot more. So I just want to put some more flavor and color to the customers that we have in North America. So the federal government, that's in partnership with Verizon. We've built a streaming platform with command information for 400,000 Marines outside of the United States. And happy to report that the 1-800 number lands in our office.
That's awesome.
Right. We support 2 Major League Baseball teams, the Nationals and the Orioles, and we do that for them glass to glass. Right. So in season and off season, we're managing it all glass to glass for them. Yeah. I had the opportunity once to be at the Camden Yards at one release, and it was a very, very scary moment for me. I just want to make sure everything went off well. And also we're system integrators to Live Nation for their live events platform that is called Weeps. Right. So that just adds some body and flavor to, what we're doing in the North America market. Yeah. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It explains exactly why we're partners. That is quite a portfolio. Now, Anis, as a company deeply embedded in technology, I'm curious, how does DCT stay ahead of the curve in terms of technological advancements? And are there any specific technologies or trends that you're currently exploring or investing in?
That's a great question. Thanks, Nick. So, given the engineering background of the company, we always look at the new trends in the market. So, for example, we adapted the cloud practice well ahead of the curve. And that's where we built our Cloud Center of Excellence a couple of years back, which allowed us to build our own products using the power of cloud, and also support our customers in their cloud journey. From a future perspective, we see AI as, the next wave, and the engineering experience we have on the cloud, on the product, and on the data engineering side, clubbed with AI. That's what we see as, something that would be our future. So as we speak, we are building we're building a center of excellence that will lead our AI practice.
Yeah. Oh, it's so fascinating. It's crazy. And Kaushik, as Chief Technology Officer, how did you assess the trade-offs between different cloud providers, and what are some of the most significant benefits you've observed with Akamai Cloud?
Very interesting question from a trade-off perspective. So typically everyone wants to work with hyperscalers without understanding the need. So, and what hyperscalers provides you is typically a glue, which wants you to stick with them, and it's a black box.
Right.
Now you cannot come out. So say for example, you use any of the native services. Then if then there's a cost arbitrage to it. How do you come out of this? And it makes it so easy for you that you cannot come out. But what people don't understand, or what the developer community does not understand, is that what do you do at scale,
Right.
which is very important. And CFOs would like this a lot, if they have to bring it onto Akamai, because what Akamai provides you is a set of tools and services from an infrastructure standpoint, and you use open source technologies to it,
Yeah.
which makes a big difference, because at scale, CFO is not going to like what you're doing if that's not going to get you the revenue,
Right.
which makes a big difference. And apart from that, with our recent migration, also what we have done, we've used a lot of open source technologies, and it works seamlessly well on Akamai platform.
Yeah.
And the type of migration I'm talking about is huge.
Right.
What we have migrated is not less than 3,000 plus cores, 10,000 GB of RAM, 2.5 TB of data,
Yeah.
which makes it real huge. And if this can work
Yeah.
flawlessly well without a downtime with greater services, it can work everywhere. And it brings your cost so much down that, to me, Akamai is the way to go.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a great answer. It's like part of me wants to just throw the tagline DCT plus Akamai equals scale. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
no, but I think that's a wonderful message. And I think thank you guys for the background. I think this is tremendous. And so now I'd like to dive really into the heart of the matter and tell our audience about that win story. And so my questions are, what was the customer trying to solve for, and what was the role that DCT and Akamai played in making this happen?
Yeah, so let me talk a little about, the deal structuring and how that happened. So when we started talking to the customer, so we've had a relationship with this customer for the last, I would say, 5-6 years. So they've had an experience of dealing with us. They wanted to consolidate all their cloud partners and bring it home to one. And there were a lot of consulting conversations that went across the board with a lot of their technologists, with their CFOs, with the budgeting teams and what have you.
Right.
And so interesting to know that they were on 3 hyperscalers. Yeah, they were on Azure, GCP, and AWS. And they had a complicated spaghetti on what was happening where and how they were deriving an output versus cost.
Right.
And now the challenge was, so cost was a challenge, but the bigger challenge was a seamless delivery if they had to scale. What they were also transitioning into was, can we partner with a technology provider who can bring scale, who can bring consolidation, and a product that we can jointly take to market?
Right.
So this was an opportunity for us as a SI partner to bring in our product suite, which was DCafe, now on Akamai, right? Bring in their entire product portfolio and consolidate the hyperscalers to Akamai. So when we started doing our, I would say, due diligence, and back to what Kaushik said earlier, we believed that this partnership with Akamai could bring all of that to the deal. So it could bring the cost down. It could bring that consolidation. There was going to be some heavy lift, but then what's life without challenges?
Exactly.
So we said, let's take the bull by the horn. And that's how we structured the deal.
Yeah.
And then once that was done, over to technology now to come in and make the magic happen.
Well, absolutely. And the message to CTO is, all the CTOs is, don't go by the native services, because when you go for scale, again, it's not going to work from a cost perspective.
Right.
Reliability is another factor to it. And in fact, even the infrastructure what Akamai provides is of great value, and which we have seen during this migration, because this is not a migration. This migration, the number of concurrency and the number of users is too high. It goes into millions, and plus there is a telco implementation as well, where
That's very true.
telcos around the world gets connected to the system. And if this works, everything can work.
Yeah.
And that's my message.
Nick, I just want to add, this is my favorite recent customer win story. And it's terrific when, our partners really understand and embrace the value prop that Akamai brings, and then they deliver that to the customer. And I love that this entire migration was done with zero downtime, which is amazing.
That's unbelievable. Oh my gosh. So I think we hit on, were there any other key benefits that were observed post-migration, or do we feel like we got that one pretty well?
Key benefits?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pre-migration, the apps and the site and the APIs were
Massive.
frequently down
Right.
because of the scale. And, it also alludes to the IOPS and other features and functionality and the type of infrastructure which the hyperscalers provide versus with what Akamai provides. The dedicated, the premium, the shared plan, these models and the type of infrastructure you have along with associated with these models helps it best. And again, if you tie it back with Akamai CDN, it gives you everything what the world needs. And that makes the thing happen.
Yeah. Very, very well said. Now, Bill, question for you. I was curious, success is rarely made in a vacuum. And as a vendor, it's really up to us to provide the right services and support to, enable stories like this.
Yeah.
So, I was curious if you could share just a little bit about Akamai's strategy on enabling and empowering partners like DCT.
Yeah, it's a great question, Nick, and it's really an important one. Let me preface my comments to say that Akamai has a partner-first go-to-market model for our security and compute offerings. That's really important. We don't just embrace the channel. It is our way of life.
Right.
And given that our success is dependent upon supporting our customers via these partners, we spend a lot of focus, a lot of effort in having a great partner program. And so there's a lot of excitement here at Akamai because we just recently relaunched our partner program, which we call Akamai Partner Connect.
Absolutely. On that kind of same thread, I'm curious, in your opinion, what makes a good partnership?
Well, I think the technology vendor like Akamai has to have certain things to attract and retain top partners like DCT. Certainly a best-of-breed technology platform that's differentiated and adds substantial value like what you just heard for our joint customers. And again, for our compute systems integrators such as DCT, our products deliver cost savings, performance improvements, and application portability for our customers. Secondly, we have to be easy to do business with. We provide financial incentives to the partner as well as to the Akamai field sellers to work with our partners, right? So that gets them really aligned with that partner go-to-market model. And we have deal registrations, we have rules of engagement to really align the partners to engage with our field sales teams. As it relates to enablement, I love that you referred to it as empowerment because we provide top-of-class certification training programs, certification levels to be achieved that really ensure that our partners are successful when they're providing their products and services to their clients. And this includes an entire library of self-paced enablement. Again, the certification courses for sales, for pre-sales, for solution architects, and for managed service providers that are really important. And we also provide partner account executives. I know you guys have worked with Evan and Mickey and Jackie and Giuseppe on my team. We really try to support our partnerships with that concierge service here at Akamai that the partner account executives provide. And then further, we align our partner systems engineers with them to develop joint solutions to take to market. So we really try to surround our partnerships with what they need to be successful, including co-branding of marketing materials, campaigns, and tools that can give them insights into market segmentation, vertical market alignment, and joint messaging.
Really, really well said.
And then from the partner perspective, what's exciting about working with somebody like DCT, we look for innovators who put the customer first, they drive valuable business outcomes by integrating new technologies into their customers' IT and security endeavors. You just heard about what DCT did with Hungama, and we couldn't be more proud than to stand next to DCT and truly call them partner.
Absolutely. I get a sense it's almost like quality over quantity with a lot of partners like these. I mean, we have found true innovators here, and it's amazing. And Bill, back to your point, I mean, the differentiated platform makes it easier to sell, right? The enablement gives them the confidence to be able to go out there, and then having that dedicated team behind them to be able to go out there and consult with and talk, prospect. Those are all the ingredients. I mean, I've been in the channel for a decade plus, and those are the things I always see of a truly successful partnership program. And so I'm fired up, as you guys can tell. It's really cool to see that, and I love hearing success stories like what you guys
Thank
share
you so
as
much.
well.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Of course. So now the confetti has flown, the win has happened. I'm curious, now that you've completed this major win, what is going to come next for DCT? And so I was going to ask, what are some of the exciting projects or developments that you have planned or are working on with Akamai?
Interesting. Just as Bill just spoke about a true partnership. So true partnerships are also, while they're about success, they're also about saying how you build a camaraderie around each of our projects or products when we take them to market. So as you know, technology is always evolving, and there are gaps. So as DCT, we've done our own due diligence to understand where we feel that there could be a pitfall in the product portfolio. And then we're building a suite of AI-driven products and plugins to support the Akamai vision in 2026. That being one. The second, we've launched the 3.0 version of DCafe, which initially was a solution for streaming. And I spoke a little about it with the customers that we have. But now this solution can support telcos, it can support broadcasters, and it has a horde of plugins that, that can come in and get connected to it. Multi-view, the micro content platform. And happy to report that we have successfully taken this entire product suite and is now sitting on Akamai. So that could mean a joint marketing strategy, a GTM, where we can go and talk to a bigger range of customers. So I think, these are the two areas that we're looking at kind of promoting ourselves in.
And again, Nick, part of what makes this partnership so powerful is you've got like a product play with their DCafe offering, right?
Right.
And then you've got the migration stories like what you heard about Hungama. And so it's kind of a double play here for us.
Yeah.
And Bill, it's not just stopping there. We already migrated one of our customers from an AI standpoint onto Akamai platform using Akamai GPUs and working flawlessly well. And they are able to make predictive analysis on what we have done from an AI ML ops perspective.
Yeah.
So again, which is again a beautiful win, and CFO loves it.
Just to add, again, that's Nostra Travel Media out of New York.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. And Bill, I'm curious, as someone with over 20 years of Akamai experience, you've seen our partner program grow and evolve. And so for the partners listening, what advice would you give them to be as successful as DCT?
Nick, you always make me feel old when you mention my 20 years.
Sorry.
And you mentioned it was like 130 years.
Yeah. But I think the first bit of advice that I would give to any prospective partner is to visit the akamai.com/partners to learn about our newly launched Partner Connect program, the different types of partnerships that we offer, all of the available benefits, not just the discounts, but everything that we wrap around these partnerships. So I would encourage folks to go there and learn more about the program. We're very fortunate to be in a position to be selective about who we partner with.
Right.
Rather than pursuing volume partnerships, we're focused on building deep strategic relationships with partners like DCT who want to actively shape the future of security and cloud computing alongside us. So if you believe in that vision, want to be part of defining what comes next, we'd love to explore how we can grow together.
Very, very well said. All right. Look at the time, man. This interview has flown by. So I want to thank all of our wonderful guests for your insights today. Before we wrap up, I always like to ask people about what motivates our guests. And so to the group, could you share either a goal you have for 2026 or talk about something that has inspired you recently? And we'll start with Vineet.
Yeah, I think our goal for 2026, and like I spoke of it earlier, is to see how we strengthen this partnership. I think we've got all the foundation blocks. of building I think a hyperscale partnership. And, all the deals that I feel that we've not been able to do together or that have been challenges with the sales teams have had a disconnect and saying, hey, we could not do this or we could not do that. I think that's the area we want to go back in and take a lot more bulls by the horn and make those deals happen. Because I think that's the right way to present to sales. And like I think our technology teams presented back to us, it is possible. And, then they made it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the goals. And obviously, like I said, strengthen it, deepen it, bring our products to bear, on your marketplace and see how we can strengthen and deepen this partnership. Yeah, that's the way forward.
Absolutely. Really well said. Kaushik, to you?
Yeah, I mean, beautiful partnership. First of all, thank you, Nick, for the partnership. And for 2026, the way we are moving forward, I would actually love to walk with the sales and the pre-sales team to the prospect office, help solution so that we cut the chase
Yeah.
right at the beginning. And, we move fast with speed and agility rather than, backlogging that we'll come and do something. So
Absolutely.
the magic happens at the prospect's office is what we want to achieve.
Yeah, those joint meetings are so powerful. So I'm
Yeah.
100% aligned with you. And last but certainly not least, Anis, what any thoughts on goal for the 2026 or something that's inspired you recently?
No, absolutely. So two parts. One, back to what Vinith and Kaushik, mentioned. Given our experience with this recent migration, what the message we see over there is there are a lot of cloud native applications at
Right.
scale. Okay, and they have the inherent inefficiencies over there, where something is running on another cloud, something running on another cloud. You've got the whole egress and the performance inefficiencies. So given DCT's engineering lineage, we're not just a lift and shift partner. We would like to, work closely with Akamai sales team, work on the joint go-to-market, and back to Kaushik's comment, work on the solutioning of that to make some of those, deals happen
Yeah.
with that joint collaboration. And the second part is the AI focus that we have, where we are looking at our own products and also the platform that allows us to work with Akamai team on joint GTM
Right.
for those AI solutions.
Yeah. That's a
I think real time, solutioning is
Yeah.
the key
yeah.
to the answer. And 2026, we want to achieve that with the prospect and the sales team.
Very well said, all three of you. Great answers. All right. So I want to thank our partners for tuning in, and we're looking forward to seeing you on our next episode. Thank you again, gentlemen. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Guys are great.